Hello there, lovely people. Good afternoon from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Time is somewhere midday, 3:10ish p.m. Very sunny, hot day. No sign of rain. For last few days, no sign of any rain or cool weather. So, yeah, the mid-year is very, very hot and humid in Bangladesh. So today I want to do a topic. It's nothing to do with fragrances, but I will start the video with a fragrance, my scent of the afternoon, because I'm a fragrance guy, and it's a ritual sort of. So I'm going with this very rare gem. I have like about 20 ml left, I guess, on my Ultra Zest by Thierry Mugler. So I'm just gonna go one there and then one there. Okay, so just to uplift the mood. It's orange creamsicle smell, very hard to find. It used to be very, very affordable, like the cheaper Mugler, but since its discontinuation, this fragrance became very expensive. I had a backup bottle. I sold it for about $200, because I needed urgent cash. But people are crazy about this. You don't see this orange, colorful bottle anywhere anymore. Okay, so you get the zest, you get that nice cream, like a creamy orange, popsicle, or creamsicle. So anyway, so today's topic is a little bit different than fragrances, and I understand some of you are not interested in it. Like if it's not fragrance related, you can walk out. It may turn a little bit long. I'm just doing this midday because I thought of doing this because I was watching something last night. Sometimes, nowadays I'm a little bit insomniac, like I cannot sleep really at night that much because I started taking too much coffee, as well as this thing. I am smoking like a chimney nowadays. So that sort of ruined my, sleeping pattern. I used to sleep so nice like a baby from say 9:30 to 10 p.m. ish, and then wake up at 4 5. I go for morning walk. Perfect. If you guys can sleep at night, that's the most perfect thing, and it will really, really be good for your health. And then you also digest your food on time, no gastric any issues, stuff like that. But nowadays, yeah, I sleep at 7 a.m., 7:30 ish, because all night I cannot sleep. So sometimes people call, and then the conversation goes on for hours. So then you lose. Then you do videos, other work, eat late night, which is the worst thing. So anyway, so I hope you can sleep at night. That's the one thing I want to wish you. So the topic, I was watching something last night, when I was up, and then these are like stand-up comedies, and then those videos when they say, like particularly they say why women, chase bad guys, or they always undermine the good guys, people who are, nice, sweet guys, why women don't, value them or something. There is this generalization, obviously, like a lot, that it says women, but it's not all women. Mind you, one thing before I start with that topic, let me just tell you one thing. I really, say kudos and respect to people who are good, genuinely good, and they put a lot of effort in relationships, their, marriage, wedding, and all that. And they also are like, men and women both, I'm not saying any particular gender. People who are patient, they are willing to sacrifice, they do a lot for their family, their partner, and they withstand a lot of, because in a family, when you're together, you actually are in a box or a home where you don't actually find options to, like I choose the option to buy flowers or choose the option to take her out. There's no such thing. There's no more choosing. There's no more option. There is this thing that you have to earn the bread in the family, or you have to provide, with your care. If you're a lady, maybe you take care of children. Also, if you work, you also earn for your home. So support the family. So both have roles. Like men usually are a little bit different in roles, but I really feel this is just apart from giving birth and a few other things, men and women, they can do almost the same thing in the same family. Let's say a guy can do the dishes. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like, cannot say, hey, it's not in my DNA. My father never did dishes, So these are just small examples. I don't think it's a very, masculine thing not to do any work and just sit and act like a jerk, finish dinner, leave the plate at the table. Very bad manners, okay? So this is the kind of conversation I'm going to have, not any particular topic to get triggered on, but I'll share my thoughts, okay? And I'll tell you why it's not worth being in a relationship nowadays anymore. If I'm a guy, let's say, I will talk about opposite gender, women. If I'm straight, obviously that's the normal thing, but I cannot speak for a girl, but I'll tell you what I observe in women, some women, and these some women are the one that are the issue, okay? And there's also some men who are also the issue. And when I say some, there's like a huge portion of it, right? So let me tell you one by one, right? So good people, this introduction, I will say thank you, all the good people, not being good to me, but being good to your partners, other people, doing the beautiful things or respectable things, and responsibilities, and taking care of your family, also your, whole neighborhood and everything, workplace, those caring people, they carry a lot of weight at the back of other people. They drag people or pull them, when they others need it, financially or whatever. So these people, they give. These are people I really say kudos to, and these are people who are, the reason why the world is intact and people still can have some hope. So leaving this topic aside, these are the good people. We are not going to touch them, right? If you get triggered by this video, it means that you are one of these second portions of people which are the problem, okay? Or you are part of the problem. And let me start saying that, I am also part of the problem in a way. Even though I think I'm a good person, I want to be a better person, I'll share with you what I really think or feel about love, or what is the whole purpose of family relationships. I personally think, like, this is just my 2 cents, everybody is different. I personally think a person, when they're born, they are children. So they need their family, they need their parents, to take care of them, raise them, feed them, support them, protect them. So once they grow up, they go to school and all that. So they also still need the family because they are still not self-dependent. Then they move to college, little bit of responsibility, a little bit of, those odd jobs that you do. And then by the time you reach the university, you start becoming a man nowadays. Some people already are making money, they're entrepreneurs, they're doing part-time jobs. So they already are, introduced as like a grown-up in the society. So after that, they go for the workforce. So in this college, normally like our time, college, university time, this is where you start falling in love. Nowadays, this generation, I would say when infants, like not say infants, but little children, like this culture was not there before. Nowadays, 4 or 5 years old, they have serious relationships. Can you believe that? They hardly can speak, but they know how to use the phone, right? You guys are, if you are in my age, 30, 35s, or like I'm in 40s, right? If you have seen that, you will not be shocked no more, because this is a normal occurrence, because there's nothing normal about this world anymore, because there's hardly any real sports. There's no playing fields. There's no real sports on most part. And people don't really like, back in the time we used to climb trees, rock climbing, used to have adventures, and we did a lot of physical activities which kept us like, sound, sound mind, sound body. And more or less we would be very, very fit to do things. We have great vision, we'd have a very good attitude, we'll respect our elders and all that. Nowadays, you don't see any of that. You guys know, in general, you look around, you see a lot of smart gadgets, a lot of smart people, a lot of smartness, but you hardly see any kindness, you hardly see any manners, you hardly see any ethics. People of any age nowadays have no manners, they don't have the politeness, they don't have, like, they're all selfish, right? So we are part of the problem. When I was saying me, I am also part of the problem, because I look at me sometimes, I try to find my faults, and when I see the faults in me, then I also see that I'm part of the problem at times. But there is a little bit difference that I want to do, that sometimes if I make a mistake unknowingly, that I was rude to someone for no reason, or I was harsh to someone, or let's say I did something bad to someone, then I try to figure out, like, think back, was it their fault or was it my fault, or was I too like mean, right? So maybe in future reference, I don't try to be that person no more. But I noticed one thing. I was talking about relationships, right? Let's get in there. So when people are single, they try looking for love, like when I was in school, I'll just tell you, when I was in school, there was this girl I liked a lot, and she was like a little bit different than others. She was very mysterious, and she was like pretty, okay, but not super pretty, not the prettiest girl in the school, but she was very interesting, very charming, and very mysterious. So, and she apparently, like, used to copy from my exams, paper, and then sort of, when you do that, like, it's nothing to brag about, but sometimes we used to help each other, study together, and then our teachers were always the same. We used to do coaching, and then slowly you start developing things. When you're innocent, you start falling in love, like when you're young, you're not that corrupt. Nowadays it's different, they portray differently, but I fell in love, like that's what felt to me as love, that I like this girl a lot. I would do anything if she says, get me a paper, hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, when she would say something like, can I have a pen or something? If it's not there, I'll just run to the shop and get it, So try to keep her happy, make her happy, and do whatever that would actually get her validation or make her to like me or stuff. But she didn't really like me. She thought of as a friend, and she actually liked one of my elder brothers in the campus where he grew up. So basically, that was my first crush or something like real. It feels like I used to see her in my dreams, have this imaginary conversations, so then the next one was a little bit different, like when you grow a little bit, older, you go to university. I think I was in college that time, and I met my real first girlfriend, and that was through online. And this thing carried on for many years, like even I would say 20 plus years or something. I know her. Okay, so that was crazy, right? And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how to behave and stuff. I was very raw. I used to be a cricketer, sportsman. And then I noticed one thing: I was being myself all the time, like who I am. I never tried to play cool or try to play tricks or try to manipulate and all. I was just very caring. I used to go, because we were students, right? So we both were students. And then, I had very little money because as a student. Because as a student, you don't get so much pocket money from home. So I was not working. So basically, let's say if we go out on a date, anywhere, I would pay all the bills, and I would just go, send her nicely with taxi or bus so she reaches home safely. And there was a point that, I really liked this girl, and then she was always mean to me, but I didn't care for it. Obviously, she was very pretty. That was something dumb guys do. And, I always have this thing like, I like beauty, so the beauty actually the definition of beauty now we understand it's a little bit different. The physical beauty, it's like something that you get attracted to, but you fall in love with a good soul. That is beauty, so at very late age, sometimes people realize this, but I really think like we get confused by looks a lot, and we see a nice figure, nice girl, and she's mysterious and sexy, we chase it. So basically I was engaged with her, and that didn't work out because sometimes when you are too obvious, okay, people start cheating on you, and they start thinking that you're dumb, and they start misbehaving with you. So this is the point I want to talk about. Some women, they have this toxic trait, and this is a very common thing, and it's just normalized nowadays, and people are also accepting it. They're thinking it's all about validation of women, like what they think, what they like, how would she like it, should I pay, should I open the door. You see all this garbage, I'll call this garbage. I'm not like that guy, what's his name, that bald guy, man, Andrew Tate. I watch him, he's funny sometimes, but sometimes he can be a douche. So I am not that extreme, but I'll tell you, I find all this thing that filled up with your head, that you have to bring flowers, you have to call her, take her out, you have to ask her on a date. Why can women do that thing for men as well? You'll be saying, no, that's not right. What about equality between genders? Like men and women are equal, right? You want equal rights, so why don't you do the equal things? I'm asking this particular group, not the good people. Good people already know they're responsible. They always do their part. Let's they go out, they split their bills. They take responsibility. These are good people, good women with big heart, no questions asked. They are, they are respect. They are this part of the society. But this other side, these women, they are entitled. They think, oh, I have the looks. And then I deserve, like I've seen some cases in Bangladesh. Okay, these are just nearby real examples. Like one of the girls in Bangladesh who is a model from a small city or town, and she doesn't have very good looks or anything, but what women do, they put filter, makeup, and they do a little bit of gym, a little bit of treatment. They color their hair, so they put up dresses like so that's not natural. Women would like to make an effort, but they do this sometimes just to attract rich people, and they don't go out with normal middle class guys, sweet guys. They're not into that. They want to have a guy who can pay for her bills. They can take care of her even if she gets a child, and even if he is married, they don't mind. They have children, these guys, and these women don't mind that, because they know that all they're interested in their money and then the secure future. So they don't have to work. They don't work at all. They say we are models, we are TV hosts, we are anchors. It's not a job that pays. It doesn't pay even rent. Okay, I know that. But you see these girls, they take expensive flights to Dubai, Singapore, holidays, and they always bling bling, Gucci bags, Louis Vuitton, and they always have these sunglasses, branded sunglasses, watches. Where do they get these from? Very obvious answers. Okay, it's like because it's YouTube, I don't want to use any bad words, but it's basically they are selling themselves to earn this, right? And this is normalized, like, hey, women supposed to be treated like that. They're supposed to be treated like queen. They look like Kim Kardashian or any of the actresses you find attractive, they're supposed to be taken care of. They're supposed to be worshipped. It's a bad word in Islam, but I would say worship, because guys think like they have to chase women constantly. And this thing caused this whole system in the society that women have it so easy. When they get divorced, they take if they can blame the guy, they can take half their property, money, whatever. It's so easy. But guys don't get anything out of it. The guys, if they get abused, they get beaten, they are just looked at like a stupid idiots. Like they are just weak. If the guys speak up, they are, that trait, like when they are speaking up for rights, then they are douche. Or if they are being real, they are mean. So whatever guys do, it's all negative, okay? And whatever women do, they are the victims, right? So this trait, okay, it's very common. I'm not talking about guys here, because guys don't behave like women, because guys in relationships, sometimes, they do have sugar mommies and all that, but that's a different issue. Guys are different psychology, okay? But girls, they act at first like, hey, why don't you care? I want you to bring me flowers. I want you to write letters and stuff. At first, some of the guys, I was like, once after my first relationship didn't work, I sort of changed. I sort of like saw that, being a nice guy doesn't pay off. So I became like a mean guy. I became reckless. I became that bad boy. And then I used to party. I used to have friends. So I was kind of like that bad boy sort of thing. Like I would go and do naughty things. No drugs though. I never did drugs in my life, but the rest of it, I did all. And then I met this girl after going through small relationships or flings. And this girl was my like 2 years relationship, and she was the craziest girl I ever met, okay, in Malaysia. And she was rich as F. And then obviously I was having a good life. I was not rich, and she used to like, take me out, showed me life and everything. And she showered me with everything, right? Love. And then in return, I also would love her back. But after a while, I saw that this thing, this whatever thing you have, it slowly starts fading away, because people start losing interest, okay? Once you become from a jerk to a little bit of a nice guy, and you start caring and you want a commitment, this is where a lot of women, when you ask them to marry them, and you would imagine like she'd be like so happy that day, right? Like after a few years of going out, she would just love that for a guy to ask them out. But opposite happens. This is normalized nowadays. When guy goes on their knees, where the girls can also do the same, the girls don't propose guys. I find it very stupid, okay? And then they act like, no, F you, like, oh, no, you couldn't do this to me, don't do this to me, and they run away. And you'll be like thinking, I've been going out with her, we live together, we even have children together, sometimes in states, right? And then you guys are into each other so much, and you cuddle, and why would she say no? Because she is not mentally prepared. She's not in the place in her head. She needs to achieve things in her life, career. So I'm thinking like, why didn't you think of those things before, when you're actually going out with the guy, you filled his head, because women are kind of mental terrorists sometimes, like they will want to control the guy. It's all about power. It's all about controlling, nowadays, sadly, people don't respect or understand that there is this thing, that free will. It's the most beautiful thing. If someone loves you from their own will, and you are also here, you are two independent, different person, but you are in a relationship, but you respect each other, you have feelings for each other, you like each other, and you actually value your togetherness. You want to take her out for holiday, she wants to get you to a nice place or a nice suit, and then you guys see sometimes like these wonderful people, they're together with their children, and you can see that their house is a forte, like a fort. Okay, not fort, a fort. Like no one can enter their house, disturb their loyalty or trust for each other. They're like a solid built family. But in this kind of society, we also have families like the movie Unfaithful. It looks like a perfect family. She's married, the husband is successful, he's working, they have children, and out of nowhere she'll just go meet a guy randomly, and then she'll just sleep with him, because that guy's a bad boy. And here is the problem, that I don't want to generalize like all women are like doing this, but some women, they like bad guys, they like heartbreakers, they like people who are rude, mean, careless. So I was this guy once in my last relationship. When I met someone, of course she is my first ex, okay? So anyway, so it's a messed up story. Anyway, so thing is like, when I met her, I didn't want to be in a relationship. I wanted to be like open relationship, like have fun, go out, but I want to do my work, I want to go out and work. I want to have my freedom. But slowly I noticed that slowly, bit by bit, women somehow have this like how you catch fish, they slowly start pulling in, I don't know what you call the rod, right? So they start sort of tightening the grip. So you feel that slowly, like at first they have different things. They'll love you, they will care for you, they'll be crazy for you, they will do things for you that you go like, oh my God, you're the king of the, what I mean. So once they achieve it, then you start slowly seeing that, hey, I'm weak for this girl, like she's nice. I shouldn't be playing games. I shouldn't be being this mysterious guy that, after she sent me so many messages, I reply after 1 hour. these things, like, sadly, these things are the reasons some of these women, they're attracted to you. They run to you because you are the rude guy. You don't chase them, you don't tell them what they want to know. So they are sort of like, what is this mystery, what is this guy, bad guy. And sometimes, I would be like showing super love and all. And the thing is, like, at that point I realized I didn't love her. At first I did not love her. I liked her. I did not love her because I just came out of a marriage. I was divorced, so she came into my life then, and I want to take some time off, because naturally you cannot fall in love with someone, even if it's your ex or whoever, instantly, because it's not possible. You need mental clearance. Like after a breakup, you should take some time for yourself, because you just came out of some sort of trauma or bad experiences or bitterness. So you can't immediately love someone. You need to deal with your life and heal, like be mentally stable again. I didn't get that time. So what happened was, I didn't want to be in love with someone, but she loved me so much because I was doing all the things, like cool things. She calls, I was like talking like this. Yeah, so yeah. She was like, I'm in love with you. I love you so much. And then, can I see you tomorrow? She would come here literally every single day and talk to me for hours, and sometimes on phone I had a call once for 4.5 hours, continuous call. My phone was almost exploding, it was on charge. And yeah, we liked each other a lot. So women like you sometimes, there's just no reason. They just like you because maybe you are doing something right, but at the same time they can also hate you for absolutely no reason. But their justifications are a bit weird sometimes. Like, you become a good guy, you become a predictable guy, you go to work, come back home, and she knows every single slot, 1 to 2 hours, where you are, morning, afternoon, night, and there's just no mystery. I think some women, they just like absolutely like bored about it, and like the movie Unfaithful happened, because women have certain things. They want security, one thing, like physical security, monetary and all that, but at the same time mental support. And sometimes they get it from different sources. Some women, some men, they can be like really like big-hearted people. They have multiple partners. They go to different people to talk to, different people to go out, sometimes different people to just share. It's never one partner, like you share with, and I find this very odd. To me, nice relationship, healthy relationship is your wife should be your best friend, your girlfriend should be your best friend, and you should be able to go to them to vent out or to seek comfort. If you're going through something, you can just share with them and you just feel all better. Sadly, this is not the case no more. People have life partners, they look like husband, wife and all that, but you'll see these partners, they have other friends, they have office employees, they have co-workers, they are supposedly their like personal space where they go to for mental support, and your husband doesn't know anything about what you guys talk, and you cannot see her phone. So what they have, sometimes they have affairs, sometimes they sleep together, sometimes they go out somewhere you wouldn't know, and even if you get to know, you cannot say a word because that's not right, that's rude. You're not supposed to ask them like, hey, why do you do that? And they'll be like, why being a jerk, why are you suspecting and stuff. If imagine you catch them, cheaters, live, and they said that even I slept with someone, and that time if you catch them, you are the bad guy. This is normalized. I'm just saying all these effed up things, messed up things, just to raise few eyebrows and for you to think like, is it worth taking all this garbage attitude from women? Or let's say let's talk about men, men cheat also, men also are bad. Sometimes they don't have any feelings, they sleep with so many girls without any regret, and they just break your heart. None of this is okay. I'm just saying it, both people, none of it is okay, because there is a limit to everything. There is not a rule, but there is some principles both guys and girls should follow. One principle is, don't show love if you don't feel love for someone, is the cruelest thing ever. And I realized it at one point, and I actually felt bad, because even though at first year, 1 to 2 years, I did not feel anything for her. I liked her as a friend, my ex, I liked her as a friend. I liked what she did for me. She gave me mental. I always said in my videos how great she was. Even her name initial is in my silver play button, as a gratitude, because she did a lot for my journey. Even though there were a lot of things wrong, but at the same time, she was my support system in every way possible. She was there when I needed her, so there were some good times, but sometimes, the good times go away, and then you just do not understand how it happened. Yeah, maybe you have to take responsibility, maybe you're not caring enough or whatever, but let's say you were working, or you just hurt her somehow, like you said, you had a fight, people have fight, And then what they do is, just to take revenge, just to take that anger out, let's say she would say, you didn't pick up my call, you blocked me, and they go sleep with someone, and they just come back and thinking like that's justification, and they'll say stuff like, you think you're mean, I can show you mean, I can hurt you, if I want I can hurt you. These are the lines when you hear, it's as bad as a murder. Okay, it's like you literally kill someone's soul, and coming like this thing coming from a person that you're so close to, the one that you trust most, without any valid reason. If I cheated on someone, they cheat on me, that is fair game for me. Okay, but let's say you are angry, you're mad at them for something that, that drama, whatever. And sometimes guys cannot take it. At one point, all the nagging, all the complaining, and all the time that every solution has a problem, this kind of situation, when the guys say that women are not actually interested in actually having a conversation or being in a healthy relationship, they just always want to fight, they always want to complain, they want the perfect man. Do they even know what a perfect man is? There's no such thing as a perfect man. A guy who looks like a bodybuilder, like good looking guy, they are like all healthy, that can be a toxic person. Maybe they don't have the maturity, they don't have the caring for you. So I don't know what women seek, but it's not Superman, it's not Batman, it's not going to cut it off. Okay, but this is what I feel. Like later what I realized, that they just try, you just notice like these little red signals, and always care for yourself enough, like don't be so drawn into them that you have no existence of your own. You'll start seeing that they start start going distancing from you, and they will not pick up your call, they will not return your messages on time, and they will be annoyed when you ask them something. What? You see this red flag. When you see them, they don't want to see you no more, they don't want to talk to you for long calls, and they are sometimes looking at the phone and put it upside down on the table, or they just go and then secretly on the phone a lot, and you call them, it's busy. And then you ask them like, can I see you this evening? They say, hey man, my work is like extra tonight, I have to work extra, I have this exam, that. And it happens quite a few times. You guys know that didn't happen before, suddenly it started happening. It's all excuses. Guys, girls, whoever do it to you, they just try to give you a valid reason or something that you think, oh, it's okay, fine, she's busy. They're not busy. Nobody's too busy to see you. If someone likes you, they will change the world to chase you, to come to you for your time, for your company. Okay, because I had both. Okay, so these are the phases from my young age. These things taught me a lesson. Yeah, I was sort of shaken because I wanted to get out of this relationship, because I saw there was no future. She doesn't want a long-term relationship, and that time she started doing a lot of this drama, fights and all, and then severe things girls do. Hey, my nose is bleeding, I'm in hospital, I have a panic attack. And in the end, actually, they always say, man, if something happens to me, I want you to forgive me. So you feel guilt as a man, we have all these things, they know how to guilt trip you. So you care. The worst thing is, you guys hear this, you'll be like, why do you care? If you're in a relationship, then only you'll know why you care, because you don't want to lose that person, you don't want to hurt that person. Even if you don't love them, you don't want to hurt them. Sometimes people stay in a relationship because they don't want to be ungrateful, they don't want to be that person that stayed with her, all those things that you shared. Just because of that, some men are guilt trip, like they put there, like, you took my years, you took my this, you slept with me, or you did all these commitments, and now you don't want to be with me. And then she starts crying. Moment you see someone crying, guys will go so confused. They'll be like, oh no man, I'm such a monster. And then you take decisions. Sometimes you say yes even though you don't want to say yes, it's a maybe, but you say yes. So sometimes we don't have clarity. And the moment, relationship and marriage, two different things. When you start staying together, total different story than you dating, because you have the option to go back home and you guys can do your independent thing. Once you're together, you cannot hide anything from each other, because you get to know who's that person, who's that worker, who's that girl, she called you or said mwah, or LOL, she flirts with you. Your wife will ask you. Okay, and if as a dude you'll get annoyed, like, hey, don't come to my private space, she'll start treating you the same way, but you wouldn't know. One day she will show you, like, she also has her own fling, and as a guy you won't be able to take it. There's a major difference between guys and girls. Guys can forgive a girl for falling in love with someone else, okay, but they will not forgive a girl for sleeping with someone else. This is what I seen. Real guys, never. To them, that person is dead, that person is gone, that person is no, we think like, because women, our pride, they are our, princess and all that. So they are the one we are so confident about. They are our queen. So when your queen sleeps with someone else, it's never good. But some guys can forgive and move on and stuff. They may be different kind of guys, but girls, they can forgive you for sleeping with someone else. Once they will ask you, did you love that person? Do you love that girl? Do you love always notice that they ask you, do you love someone? Do you love that person? It doesn't matter if you slept with him, you kissed them, whatever, you cheated even, it's okay. Some girls forgive that because they can. But once you love someone else, or you say, I like this thing about this girl, she does better than you. No good, no good, bro. Okay, let's say you say that girl can sing, you didn't say your girlfriend cannot sing, but you said that girl can sing, I like her, she has long hair, I like that. And it's just a casual gesture, like say it's an artist. Okay, let's say you like an singer. Okay, these are okay, right? Supposedly liking a celebrity, having a celebrity crush, in general supposed to be okay. You can actually like J-Lo if you get married, and you can say I like that girl because you're a guy, And then if you share with every wife, usually sweet girls, they are okay, they also like sometimes accept that you can be a little bit sick, you watch POR, and sometimes they will be like, hey, can I watch with you? That's fine, But you do something secretly, they find out. Oh, women hate secrets, but when they have secrets, you're not allowed to ask. So these are the things that goes on. You see a lot of these things I told you. Tell me if I'm lying, right? So why would want to be in a relationship? So much drama, you have to go through interviews. Sorry, thirsty, So I want to go here that, when you meet someone, let's say I'm 40, there's always a chance you can meet someone, you can be with someone, date. It's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to be single forever. Yeah. But I personally have noticed that, relationship is a lot of work. Okay. I'm not saying it's a lot of burden. It's a lot of work. You have to put effort. You have to, build, and you have to invest a lot. And there's no guarantee it's going to work out. So for me, I'm a little bit selfish. Yeah. You can see I do this work. It takes a lot of self-love and selfishness. That's what helps you to, stop being not okay, and then, move on and then become okay again. It took me 2 months, But, if you are working and everything, I don't see anything wrong with it. Workaholic is not a bad thing, but it could be a bad thing. Like if you put too much addiction into your work and you don't look at her, moment she sees you love her 1% less, or you prioritize something else, she will leave, The days of women loving you, that's the most beautiful thing. I'll tell you, despite everything I'm saying, like when you are in a relationship, it's always beautiful. It's always nice that you go to someone, your heartbeat, goes up when someone's coming, you're waiting for someone, picking them up, or you just go out for dinner, celebrate days together like birthdays, or holidays, or go for, like vacation. Most beautiful thing. Trust me, when you are happy, there's nothing like it. I also want that happiness, but not at a cost of my mental peace, okay? Or lack of respect. When you see you have a lot of these things that you do, you are together, you're happy, but at the same time, sometimes she puts you down so bad, she insults you so bad, and she always, undermine your abilities that you really enjoy. Let's say you enjoy your sports, your games, or, fanboy of something, and they make fun of it, that, such a child, they say that, you're such a kid. They say these things, right? Like you are so immature, you're always with your guys. They criticize you for being with your friends, They make it like a guilt trip once again, like, you're so happy with your dudes when you hang out with them, having a beer, and, you you laugh so loud, but why don't you laugh with me? She never asks you, or she never tells you like, what's wrong with me that you don't like me? Why am I not being able to make you happy or laugh? They don't see that part. They always like, you as a man, you have to do every single thing, okay? And because I do this particular things, I am here in your life, I give you your needs and everything, so you are supposed to. But they don't put that effort, to have a casual weekend hangout with you, like talk like friends, After marriage, people don't talk like friends no more. They become more secretive, more selfish, and sometimes they're like, the way they hear their voice, they go like immediately like, oh my God, I want to hear that thing when I enter, home from work. So guys' life, it's becoming like living a nightmare. They cannot trust their life partner because they know moment they go a little bit rude or they yell at someone, their wife, they may teach them a lesson, by finding someone else, and you cannot stop it. You can see sometimes they're going out, they're bringing guys at home, and you catch them having lunch. You're not supposed to go up to them and embarrass them, right? So yeah, these things, when you meet someone new, they will ask you 1,000 questions, like, what do you do, how much do you earn, they want to find out everything about you. And they will always say stuff like, you're being insensitive, don't say that, I don't like being asked this. You can have a conversation from like a general point of view. You have to like press your questions in such a way, or conversation in such a way, that they are not hurt, they are not offended, and they are not being triggered. So a lot of this women thing, I don't approve, I don't want, and I don't even respect. People may say, yeah, you should respect women. I do, but not the drama, unnecessary drama, and all this stupid feminism thing. Yeah, stupid feminism thing, like feminazis, especially, like they hate men. They always say men are all pigs, men are all douche, men always do that, they never say the good men they exist, and they try to make them happy, but they are not into that. They're not into good men, they're not into sweet men. They're simple, and if she cooks a meal for them, that's what makes them happy. If she holds his hand, they're happy. Women don't want this man. Women don't want people who are let's say middle class men. They want a guy who is good looking, fit, rich, sensitive, sweet, nasty, all those things in one. They want a saint and a sinner at the same time who's rich. Okay? And men, sometimes we want a girl to be perfect. She will cover for everybody else, but she'll be so hot for me. Or she'll be, like funny. At the same time, she'll meet all my needs, and she'll work like a slave. No. Sometimes, men want in a women that they just hold them, and there's nothing else matters. No one enters your, family. They want that. There's nothing wrong with asking for that. But it's also important to respect and trust someone. Not blind trust, but you have to put certain trust. Without trust, there's nothing. Once you lose trust, people start arguing and then suspecting. That's the moment everything goes away. So nowadays, I'm telling you, everybody's pretending, okay? And I'm saying this against the culture. Everybody's pretending that politically correct. If you're mad at someone, don't show it. Control that anger. If she, misbehaved with you in public, insulted you, supposed to like overlook it, because she, apparently that's the sweet thing to do. All these things that you do, you're acting. What do you get in return? Do you really feel happiness inside being with someone? You might look like the perfect couple from outside, like, hey man, such a lucky dog, us having that girl. They don't actually think like that girl can be toxic. The girl can be the one that is actually not the nice person. If there's a fight in the street, they always blame the guy first. What did he do to you, right? And if there's a domestic violence, there's always people think the guys are at work. But sometimes women can be abusive too, when they speak with meanness in their voice. There's nothing worse than that at home. There's nothing worse than that in being in a relationship. That's the time you want to be single again, just so that you can do your things. You can enjoy ice cream. You can just go for a drive without being, guilty. The toxic people, the girls, they will say, how come you went somewhere and had fun? You understand the problem nowadays? If you're being happy, it's a crime as a guy. Okay, sometimes these are the things that is messed up. And when you have to like pretend like, oh no, it's okay, please go ahead. You know that you don't like her. You know that she's cheating with you, she's lying to you, and she has this special friend that you're not supposed to touch, right? And then you're just acting like it's okay because I'm in a commitment, I'm a guy, and then she likes it, so I have to respect it. F that respect. I don't respect that. As a man, male ego, whatever you call it, is not good. If you have friends and you have very clear cut, like things like, oh, this is the guy, he works with me, we are in a team, so we're working, it's fine. If let's say you guys have common interest and everything, it's fine, no problem. That can be, you guys are good family friends, it's good. But imagine sometimes secretive, she's messaging, suddenly she sees you and hide the phone. There's something wrong with it. As girls, if you see your guy doing it, there's something wrong with it. If the guy is looking at the phone and smiling, could be like, the two kind of smile. One guy goes like, that's messed up, dude. That's what they're watching. That's where they're watching memes from the guys. The other guys, they go like, yeah. And you see their satisfaction on their face. And then when they look at you like, what? And you see immediately love for them, hate for you. That's not good from the guys, right? So what's the point of all this pretending to be happy, perfect couple, perfect family, when mentally you are not in a good place? You are rich, you're making money, but you are not happy. For me, in life, it's more important to be happy than successful. Money cannot ensure your happiness. I'm saying money can solve a lot of problems, but imagine you're super rich, you are successful, you have all the things that you have children, you have family, but your wife, not really your pride. She doesn't really like you. She doesn't like her in-laws. She doesn't respect your parents and all that for no good reasons. And she always complains. She always says you're not good enough, and how you disappointed her. How you hurt her. And in reality, you just did all this for her. And still, it's not okay. I don't know how men take it or how some people take it. I'm not okay with it. If I get 1% less love, I am walking out of that door. I can work equal rights, right? Men and women, equal rights, right? So yeah, sound like a little bit triggered, but you guys think about it, you guys want so bad to chase someone, to make someone happy. You want their validation, you want to not hurt them, but they're hurting you on a constant basis. Why do you take it? Are you that worthless? Are you that pathetic? I personally feel that, at one point, self-care is so important, self-respect is so important. These are more important than love. Love cannot keep your relationship sometimes. Money cannot keep your relationships. But if you do have respect, trust, and empathy, and sensitivity, this thing, when you actually care for someone and you don't do mean things, you walk out of relationship for no good reason, and you don't give any reason, walk away from narcissists and people like that, that's different. Okay, like this thing people do, and they just act like they're the victims. They hurt you and they act like they're the victims, right? Reasons why you don't want to be in relationships no more, because it's too damn difficult, to be happy. It's too much burden to be happy. It's too much work. It's so much more stress, keeping up, fighting, and then all the time battling. You don't need that. As a guy or as a girl, if you're not happy, you're not always happy. You're always like thinking you are in what he might be doing. Why did he switch off his phone? Why did she not pick up my call and she doesn't give you a proper answer? And you suspect someone, like they disappear for a few days. These are not good stuff. Do you want that in a relationship? You don't need that. You perhaps need something that makes you fulfilled. Let's say I do this hobby, fragrance game. It's not just work for me. This is my stress relief. Okay, I do this work consistently. I do my orders. I have Decant page I run. I sell some bottles, and then I meet people. So every time I do something, it's hard work. It's taking a lot, but this work keeps me sane. Okay, like normal. These are stuff. There's nothing to do like anything bad or cheating on someone. These are just work. Work actually keeps you on track. You need to do this task, and then you're disciplined. But unnecessary drama in life, how do you solve it? There's no solution to it. You always get triggered, and she always complains, like they come for a date. What are you wearing? She asks you, why are you such a messy? Why are you so sleepy? Why are you so tired? Even being sick is a bad thing. It's your fault, right? So don't take blame for unnecessary blame. Always be equal. Like women ask for equal, you also ask for equal. If she doesn't respect you, you don't have to respect them. Okay, she asks you like, why didn't you open the door for me? Why do you have to open someone's door? If you feel like it's okay, but these things shouldn't be a culture that puts in your head, like that's put in your head that, hey, you have to always respect women. And what about women respecting you? It's not needed. Men are not deserving for that, right? So yeah, I personally think, rather than having all this stress, the heaviness in your heart and your head, you cannot sleep at night, you age so badly, so fast, you get gray hair so fast, and you feel like, you don't want to leave no more, and you don't care. You don't want to be there. You want to be in a life that makes you happy, that makes sure that life is fair. If there's no fairness, if you're in a relationship, constant blackmailing, like mind manipulation, if you do that, you're not a good person, man. And if you care, like really care, then only be in a relationship. If you don't really feel anything, you want to use someone and you're not even sure, and you are just carrying on for years, that's the worst human being ever. Okay, so yeah, it's a tough world, and nowadays I don't see that love and life is so simple like 90s, 80s. We grew up then, we've seen people are together forever. They work through challenges, fights. They have a fight, they go away, they come back. I have a friend whose wife left him and then keep coming back, left him, keep coming back. And now they're happy, they have children and everything, because they finally grew up. They understood that they cannot do this to each other and go to different people for happiness, because it doesn't work. Your heart is where it's, it beats. You cannot be attracted to 10 different women at the same time. You love someone, women love someone, they love one person, they don't love 2 3 people. Okay, so once you see that, once you have it, don't ruin a good thing. Okay guys, but if you have a bad thing, come out of it, because you are not supposed to be in a bad relationship and that's what you deserve. No, you guys deserve something good if you're a good person. Okay, so value yourself guys, and thanks for watching, and find a hobby that keeps you honest, engaged, or your work, so your value, what you're supposed to do. Love is not the first goal in life. Okay, if you don't have it, so what? It's not like you have to have it, but if you have it, it's a privilege. Not everybody's lucky to find such a sweet person, good person, kind soul. Let's say you are not the perfect guy, but she will heal you. If she's a good person, she will heal you, she will change you. She will not say change, you will feel inspired to change for her. If she's a person that kind of a keeper girl, not necessarily always a housewife or anything, but sometimes you see that they are very honest, and you see them that they're such a big hearted person and they're so strong. Oh, that is attraction. Okay, like you literally want to do things for them, you want to take them out, you want to make them smile, you want to support them when they're unhappy, when they're sad, and you want to be their support system. It's two-way thing. Okay, so it's not just one-way thing. Keep these things in mind. That's the video I want to do, very long video. But if you guys going through some messed up stuff, know that there's always a solution for every problem, not a problem for every solution. That's not life, and that's just manipulation. Some people do, because they are selfish. Okay, you don't need to blame, you don't need to hate. Just walk away and just disconnect. That's it. You'll find slowly yourself back. Take care guys, have a very nice day. Thanks for watching, those who do. And if you love these videos, I am doing this for you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.